Welcome back to The Rhode Show. This morning in the Buzz, going back in time. That's right.
Back in time.
Thinking back to when we were little kids. Recently, Olympics gymnast Aly Raisman wrote a letter to her 8-year-old self after everything she has experienced.
And she writes, I would tell her that it is often in our darkest hours when we feel most vulnerable and alone that we realize our greatest growth. So we want to know what you would tell your younger self, specifically yourself at, between maybe like 8 and 10 years old. It's one thing to say what you would tell yourself when you're 20, but
Right.
I think you need to, first of all, I think you need to speak to a child like you would.
Sure.
This is a little profound of what
Right.
Aly Raisman was
Really
saying.
deep.
Very deep, and I don't think my advice would certainly be up to that level, but I think I would say keep being you, keep being who you are, and don't worry about anyone else. Not saying be selfish, but like don't worry about what other people think of you.
Yes.
Just keep doing you, what you like.
I agree.
And be friends with who you want to be friends with.
I agree with. I think staying true to yourself is one thing that you need to do. I think you need to know that there are people that are going to come in and out of your life. Some people will be good for you, some people will be bad for you.
Right.
And to kind of still stay the course.
Yep.
and do what's right. I mean, everybody's been through good times where you're on this high and thinking everything's going great, and then really bad times. But know that eventually it will get better. It just does.
Right.
I'm wondering if I would want to know, not even so much like
How you turn out?
how I turn out.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't think I would. I
Yeah.
think I would try and be vague because I wouldn't want to have the blinders on and be so dead set on becoming what I am now or not becoming what I am now. Like, let's say my 8-year-old self does not want to do this.
Sure.
Maybe steps would change and things would change, but I think going off your point of, people are going to come into your life, I think you're going to gain people and lose people for the better.
Right.
And no matter what happens, family's always going to be there. And I think spending time with the people you care about most is extremely important.
And stop worrying about the small things too.
Yeah.
Because look, I'm saying this, but I am the absolute worst. I'm constantly in a worry and a panic. But those things that you're worrying about when you're 8, 9 years old, while they mean a lot to you, when you get older, you're going to look back on that and go, it was nothing.
And I think I'd tell myself, like, keep being a good kid.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
wondering.
I was a pretty good
I was a
kid,
good
you know
kid,
what I mean?
too.
And looking back, I feel like I took a lot away from, like the mentors in your life,
Sure.
like your parents and your teachers and whatnot. And I stayed on the pretty straight and narrow, like in a good way. I look back and some of these friends that I lost, like they were doing things that I didn't approve.
too.
Like just follow your own course. Keep being a good kid.
Yeah, I did too. I stayed the course. I was never ever in any trouble.
Yeah.
I wasn't like drinking or whatever
Yeah.
else. It just wasn't my thing. And even to this day, it wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if I would want to know, because I had loved music and TV and all that growing up all of my life, like when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if I would have wanted to know that this is where I would end up.
Yeah.
Because this is no joke, and I don't even have even told you, which I tell you everything. When I was younger and I started to drive, I wanted to do this for such a long time that I remember being younger and driving by out here in the parking lot going, you know what, someday I want to work there. I want to
Wow.
work there. I want to be here. And I'm wondering if I would want to know that, look,
Yeah.
here I am.
I listened to a podcast, and it's by Dax Shepard, and he says, my 12-year-old self would be going nuts if I said,
Me too.
I made one movie
Right.
and made all this money. If you look back
Sure.
and you tell your younger self, wow, they would think that
Right.
is the best
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
So it's really interesting
It's
to think
crazy.
from that perspective. Brendan, what would you tell your younger self?
2 things. First of all, give up now because it's not going to get any better. Just throw in the towel, forget about it. It's not going to go your way, and just deal. And number 2, put money on the 2001 Patriots to go all the way.
Hey, there you go. Yeah.
Now we're talking. No, you guys, I'm only kidding, of course. Just I think to be in the moment. I think so many times, life moves so fast, as Ferris Bueller
Yes.
has taught us, right?
Yes.
That I think if you can just stay in the moment and focus on what it is you want, and just to not give up, because you never know where it can take you if you put in the work.
The wisdom of Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
Still resonating.
It does. Fits everything.
All these years later.
Right.
Came out in 1986, by the way.
See, you're very good.
I
You.
tried. Well, here now is what our social media friends are saying about this topic today. I think it really is a universal one because we can all look back. Jean Wiley Sadler is up first today with advice that she would give her younger self. Here we go. Stay in school, be kind, don't be selfish, and follow your dreams. Absolutely. That's really all you need, but we shall continue. Holly Sinosek adds, enjoy being a kid. It's the most carefree time of your life, definitely. Brittany Rose Gilman chimes in, I would tell myself lots of things, but I'm sure I wouldn't listen. Yes. And lastly, Dennis Warner closes things out today with, my advice to me from myself would be to forgive and forget for the most part and keep both hands on the steering wheel of life and the future. There you go. I love when cars are invoked, metaphorically speaking. We appreciate when you chime in, everybody. Please leave your comments in the Buzz Topic each morning on Facebook, and you never know, I might read them right here on the air. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram. All of those are easily found at The Rhode Show. Right there. For now, we want to send things back.
That's right. We're back in the Rhode Show kitchen. Jay